Ya Ahlal Kitab, O people of the book, Ta'alaw, come ila kalimatin sawaim bainana wa bainakum, that we come to common terms as between us and you. A prophet is a man who receives divine inspiration to guide his people, but he might not have the power of backing it up to implement the laws that he receives. For example, like Yunus alayhi salam, he delivered his message. He couldn't implement it. Lut alayhi salam, his people went for abominations. Allah destroyed the people. But Yunus alayhi salam couldn't do anything. Lut alayhi salam, Yunus alayhi salam, Nuh alayhi salam. All these were prophets of God. They delivered the messages, but they couldn't implement the laws, the Sharia. They couldn't implement it. Yahya alayhi salam, no power to implement. So they were only prophets. Whatever they received, they delivered the message. But Musa alayhi salam was something more than that. He was a prophet as well as a king. Not with the title of a king, but a king, by that I mean one who has the power of life and death over his people. Whether you call him a president, call him a dictator, call him an emperor, call him what you like. If a man has the power of life and death, a simple word, we say he is a king. So Moses was such a man. He received divine inspiration. He delivered the message. And anybody broke the law, the adulterer and the adulteress are stoned down to death. And they would be stoned to death. They were told not to do any work on the Sabbath day, Yom Sabt, Saturday. No work. Not even picking up firewood. So a man was found picking up firewood. So they brought him along and they stoned him to death for picking up firewood. That was the law. So he had the power of not only delivering the message but implementing the law. Our Holy Prophet Muhammad saying, he was not only a messenger of God, but he had the power of life and death over his people. But Jesus Christ, when he came and he was confronted by the Romans, the Jews implicated him and he was brought for trial for treason. That was the trial, was for treason against the state, that this man is trying to pervert the nation, trying to create turmoil in the nation. So Pontius Pilate, the Roman governor, questions Jesus. He says, "Art thou the king of the Jews? Are you the king?" So Jesus says, "Thou sayest." That's what you say. So he said, "Am I a Jew to say that?" But when he was questioned, pressurized further, he says, "My kingdom is not of this world. My koninkrijk is niet van hierdie wereld nie." If my kingdom was of this world, then my disciples would have taken up the sword to fight, which they didn't do. So my kingdom is not from hence, not from here, not an earthly kingdom. Mine is a spiritual kingdom, meaning I am a prophet of God, trying to guide people spiritually, not to shoot out or kill people, chopping off people's heads. No, that's not my job. I didn't come for that. So he says, my kingdom is not of this world. In other words, his is a spiritual kingdom. Moses had a spiritual as well as a material kingdom. The Prophet Muhammad also had a spiritual as well as a material kingdom. Jesus had only a spiritual kingdom. He was only a prophet. Is that true?